Hey everybody, Kendra here. So I wanted to talk about spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing to me means that somebody is really high up here in their upper chakras. So chakra, heart space is like a bridge, right? To our throat, our third eye, and the top of our head. And then below are more of our physical plane chakras. Think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The lower part of the pyramid is down here. The upper part of the pyramid is like up here. Think of it that way if you want to. So whenever I hear people say that they are just really chill and go with the flow, and yeah, those people are really avoidant a lot of the times. And they're very higher chakras. They're real like open in these areas. But as far as being grounded, there's an imbalance. They're not as grounded. And a lot of them have to open up their heart space. That's the bridge, right? It has to be open. So working on balancing these as well. I'm not saying that people that are chill and go with the flow are always that way. I'm saying that's something I have noticed. And my boyfriend is very chill and go with the flow because he's very Pisces. So I take that as my balance, right? Because for me, I'm very Virgo. Although I'm a Leo sun, I have 5 big Virgo placements. And it's just true to who I am. So I'm very in my lower chakras. So it's very challenging for me a lot of the time to move up here into these higher chakras and to be very spiritual and I'm very open-minded, but to be like a master manifester and things like that, it's more challenging for me. Okay, people who are higher up here are more master manifestors and that kind of thing, and that's very easy for them. But the real world things, budgeting, cleaning the house, doing like physical tasks, are 3D reality tasks, are daunting. They're like, ugh, I don't want to do that. That kind of thing. Okay, so spiritual bypassing though is also can happen to someone who's really grounded, right? Who's like really 3D reality, but their 3D reality, their physical reality is so stressful and overwhelming and somewhere where they just do not want to be. Think of someone who is very cluttered, hoarding, bad at budgeting. They don't have a lot of money. They, not really great at holding down a job. They are always in other people's business, or they seem pretty depressed. Like, there's a lot of other things too. There's also people who are none of these things, who seem very straight-laced. They're very put together and they're perfect. The picture perfect person. And they are doing everything right. And they are perfect. And they want to do things right and perfect so they'll be, connected and accepted and that kind of thing. So these people can look very different, but the thing is if we're only focusing on these higher spaces of, well, if I don't focus on the past and I only focus on the future or manifesting or the quantum field or using my mind to heal my body and things like that, I don't want to focus on anything that makes me feel not good. That is spiritual bypassing. If you're avoiding anything that makes you feel unpleasant, or avoiding trauma, or avoiding things that have been scary to you in the past, or have hurt you in the past, and it's just really unpleasant, and you're avoiding that, but yet you're like, God will heal it, Creator will heal it, I'll just do some manifesting, I'll just do some meditation, I'll just focus on this over here, but not down here. And that's not how whole body wellness works. Because, as my boyfriend put it, if you're not focusing on the unpleasant sensations, then you don't really focus on the pleasant sensations either, because you're cutting off your feelings. And so if you can't feel this, then you can't feel this. And he's right. So we may seem like we're seeing somebody who's okay and happy and feeling, you know, they look fine, but they're probably disconnected. They're cut off from their feelings. And spiritual bypassing is that. It's being very cut off from your feelings, very, everything's going to be okay. God will take care of it. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to see this. I don't want to talk about that. That didn't happen. It did happen, but I'm not talking about it. Why are you bringing that up? Why are we talking about wills? Why are we talking about death? Why are we talking about the person who died, who no one talks about, no one grieved? You know, we don't need to talk about that. And there might even be anger that comes up for these people as well, instead of just sadness. Or it might be a really false sense of happiness. You know, oh, you know, we don't talk about that. Oh, we don't want to do that, you know. Oh, you're angry? We don't do that, you know. And that person probably has trauma around someone who is angry in their life in the past. So when you hear people talking about these things, what you do want to go towards is like, oh yeah, I see a mental health person, a SEP practitioner, for those of you who are avoidant, which is not a bad thing, of, you know, therapists, see someone who's an SEP or something like that, someone who's somatically trained for trauma or any kind of trauma training. And you're dealing with that, right? But then you're also doing Dr. Joe Dispenza's quantum healing stuff, and you're, you know, going the show down the rabbit hole, and you're doing all these other things, theta healing, body memory recall, Reiki. You're doing all these other spiritual aspect things too. But you see though how I'm balanced whenever I'm talking about that. I'm eating really well. I'm physically exercising. I am budgeting. I'm doing all of that stuff. But I'm also over here doing all of this other stuff, and, you know, listening to Abraham Hicks and, yeah, all of that. Esther Hicks with Abraham. This is Luna. This is my sister's dog. And when Alan is not giving her 100% of his attention, she comes in and says hi to me. But then she's like, I don't want to see you anymore, if she hears Alan do anything that might sound like he's going to sit down and pet her. And you're so good. Okay, well, that's enough about spiritual bypassing. Also, get a dog. It's a really great way to be regulated and connect with your body for emotional support. Okay, if you value the content I create, please like, subscribe, and share. Bye.